Well, Gary's pretty much said it there, hasn't he? Trent Alexander-Arnold alongside Declan Rice in a sort of double pivot. What would you make of that? Because we all know what the questions are, is defensive awareness.
Yeah, I mean, there is a bit of that, but I think against Serbia, we're going to play deep and we're going to need, to be fair, to find a way to cut them open. I can see why Trent works in this particular match. As the tournament moves on, I don't think it will remain that way. I think other players will come into the fold. The clamour for this midfield of Rice, Foden and Bellingham, I don't think Gareth is going to sort of give us that because of the defence. And what Trent playing there does is allow basically Kyle Walker to stay back almost as a third centre-back, which he's done for City for a lot of the season. Allows Trent to go in there on that right-hand side and deliver as almost like a right-back and then come back into defence. So I can see why it works, but I'm not sure it'll be the solution as the actual tournament moves on.
Is the reality that to get the best out of Rice, Bellingham and Foden and have the defensive stability might be asking too much? In other words, one of those players may not be in his preferred position.
Possibly so, but obviously, Gareth, it's all about getting the balance right in your team. They've got some brilliant individuals. We've mentioned that many times before, and players, 4 or 5 players who walk into any of the teams in this tournament. It's getting that balance right. And I agree, you talk about that, this defensive side of it. They have players who can go and win you football matches, but it's the problem defending against the really better teams. I think they'll be fine in the group. I think Trent will be fine in his position in them matches, but against the real top teams, I think he'll be found out very much so. I think he'd be ripped to shreds if he plays against one of the better teams in the central midfield. I don't think he'd be up to it.
Well, Gary thinks you don't think that would happen because he wouldn't play in there.
No, I think Gallagher will come in, I think, in certain games. And to be fair, this idea of Foden going out to the left wing, this is not Paul Scholes being shoved out on the left wing. You know, Foden's played there before, he's used to that position, so it's not like it's something that's really weird.
Yeah, but if he does well in there and they get momentum in the group, then you're talking, your argument is you don't want to make too many changes, so that's the problem.
Have they had any complacency knocked out of them by what happened against Iceland the other night? Do you think, in a way, that's not necessarily such a bad thing?
I don't think so. I think that it's a excuse me, it's a kick up the backside, almost like, right, let's get our minds right for what's coming. You see what we got 8 players who are playing in it, who played in the World Cup. So you're talking about a team that's experienced enough. And Gareth now is in a place where if I need to play Trent at this stage to get it done, to get the creation going, what we're going to need at this stage, then you do it. You do what you need to do to get to the next stage of it. And that's what this team knows and what they should be trying to do, get into the next phase.
But he's got bigger problems. You're on about just Trent situation. If Trippier and these boys are starting, they've had really difficult spells at their club. Some of these players aren't coming into the tournament with great confidence. Defensively, I'm talking about.
Yeah. I think we said Iceland in front of Gary and got away with it, didn't we, without his fainting?
I know. Seems like if Gary's in and around Iceland, something's going to happen to us.
Centre-back, it picks itself, doesn't it, Gay, here along with John Stones?
Yeah, and that is a massive opportunity for Gay. I think he's an exciting young player, but when you think about sort of winning a tournament, look, unless this tournament's going to throw up something that previous tournaments haven't, defensively you need to be strong to go the whole way. And that is the massive worry of anybody. I was hearing sort of, you know, last night Roy talking about it and Ian referring to it. Everyone is referring to England's defence. And I'm struggling in my mind at this moment in time to see, unless Gareth somehow finds a way to compensate for them, how we go the whole way with that back four, unless they play the game of their lives every single week. I'm struggling to understand how it can happen.